Hi, I'm Andrea Cline. I'd like to talk a little bit about riding different horses and different styles of horses and how I approach that and how I think about that. Um, I, I'm kind of lucky in that I've ridden so many horses over the years, and they all have different personalities, and they all are what they are. You're not, like I say, I don't believe in trying to change a horse's personality, so I work with whatever they are. Right now, probably my two top horses, they're alike in that I seem to always get these hot horses that like to run a lot, so they both are like that. However, one is very free, meaning he's real easy. You can get him by a barrel pretty easy if you don't ride him right. And the other one is not near as free. So, and how I have to think about that and wherever I go. So on the first horse, I really don't ride any horse that comes in any different. And that goes to, it doesn't matter if I train him or not. I will always ride him with my eye to the outside of the outside ear, looking forward, and I always want to be a jump ahead. I always want my left hand to stay on the left side of the neck and the right hand to stay on the right side of the neck. Always, no matter what horse I'm on. It doesn't matter what the style of horse is. In my opinion, it comes down to timing on where you sit down, if you sit down, and how much you sit down. And that's just, it just doesn't seem to matter what horses come in. I will always work them the same. I don't care if a horse is too tight, they want to come in and rim the barrel so much. I'm going to work that horse the same as I would my free horse. My free horse, most people would probably want to stop him at a barrel, back him up, and have him rim the barrel. I don't do that. I put every horse, no matter their style, in the same position every time. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna put him in the same position, 3 to 4 feet, all the way around the barrel. Now, some real big horses that aren't fast on their feet, I may go ahead and give them 4 feet around, but I'm still going to ride them the same. I'm still going to look to the outside. My goal is still to stay in the middle of the rein as I'm turning a barrel. The only difference is as you learn that horse and how they compete, like on my free running horse, I know that for the most part, I'm going to have to sit down a lot earlier to prepare him for that turn than my other horse, which I barely have to sit down at all. So, and that's just knowing. It's just something that I know that I have to do, and if I don't do it, I'm going to go by the barrel. So when you start to grasp that the worst thing that can happen, it probably has happened, and it's probably happened to somebody else, you'll start to let go of some of the fear of what could happen. Who cares? I mean, honestly, who cares? I have seen many people go past their first barrel. I probably will go past the first barrel. I probably will. I might, but it doesn't matter because the next time I probably won't. So that's just how I think about it. I don't beat myself up if I make a mistake. In fact, I do the opposite. I used to beat myself up. I used to really get down on myself for a mistake I made. I'm the exact opposite now. Whatever I do wrong in a run, I ignore it because I already know the correct fundamentals. I ignore it and I think about what I did right. And I praise myself for what I did right. So if I got my first barrel and I sat down correctly, and that's the only thing I did right, that's what I think about all the time. I think about, oh man, I sure had a good first barrel. Who cares if I cream the other two? I don't care. I don't even think about it. It's out of my mind. So that goes into just just being mentally prepared and mentally thinking about that horse. There's hardly a horse out there that is perfect, and a lot of the great riders, they make them look perfect, but it took a lot of work to get them there. But those horses aren't perfect. They're having to do something. There may be something in there that they'd like to switch up. That's okay. There's nothing. None of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. Are you perfect? No. So it's okay if your horse has a little bit of imperfection. It doesn't matter. So whatever that horse has to do. Like for me, I ride them all the same. I stay straight in my saddle. I always want to look to the outside. The one horse, I have to sit down early. And like say on this horse here, I will go, and she's fairly young. She's 6 years old, but I know for the most part, the first 2 barrels are easy for her. Sometimes I have to squeeze her going in. Again, it comes down to that timing. the third barrel, she's more than likely going to look off. She's going to perk her ears forward. She's going to look off. And so when she does that, as I'm running, I know that I'm going to have to sit down a stride early, okay? And that's just something I have to think about in my run. Now, because she's still young, there's some times where she doesn't perk the ear forward. And when she doesn't, I don't have to sit down. But that's just part of you thinking in your run and just knowing that horse and just figuring them out, just by running and figuring them out. The other horse over here, I may have to sit down a stride early. So for me and my training and my and how I do in my program, it's all about timing. I ride them the same, I just may have to prepare them a little bit differently.